Yo, what's going on, my slimes? Welcome. Recently, I went to Mackinac Island in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and you know, I never really do anything for myself, so I ended up going with my brother and my neighbor, and we kind of just drove around and uh, just had some fun. Looked at some trees, looked at some clouds and stuff, and I felt alive for the first time in like ever. Because for the first few years of my life, I've just been doing stuff that I was told to do. And that's fine and dandy and all, but I wanted to do a little something for myself, so I could remember. On top of that, I'm most likely going to be relocating states. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time with my brother. That's him on the right with the glasses on. I'm not going to lie, the only thing I eat when I go on trips like this are rice cakes, peanut butters, and bananas. Just trying to get my summer body in, I guess. No friends.
I see myself in the front.
So this is the Mackinac Bridge, aka the Big Mac, aka the side of fries, aka the 2-for-1. You know what I'm talking about. And dude, it's some interesting engineering. It's crazy that we live in a society that we can literally drive on solid that is built on top of a river. Anyways, yeah, when we got to the UP, there was a sign that says North Dakota is in this many miles and Vermont, the state of Vermont, is in that many miles. It was just so random, and I've always wanted to go to Vermont, so I had to kind of put that in the video. And so we're a little pouched up right here, and the reason is because we went to Kitchide Kibe. I think I'm saying that horribly, and we were getting chewed up by a bunch of bugs, dude. I have no clue why bugs are all the way over there in the UP, probably because of the lakes and all that stuff. But we had to kind of hide our ears because they were invading us and trying to get into our brains and control us and all that fun stuff. But anyways, it was really pretty up there. I really appreciated the nature side of things, and it really made me appreciate just Earth. You know what I mean? It made me really think wow, I spent a lot of my days cooped up behind a computer screen when this is all out there, So make sure you're taking care of yourself and actually explore life, because we're really here for a limited amount of time. So the water was clear, and you might have noticed a little bit down here that the sand is actually bubbling up. Apparently there's a crack below where water is squirting out, spring water, I guess, and essentially it's making the sand dance around. Railings funded by
Oh, since Friends Palm Boat State Park. Are you dyslexic or something, Joe?
So this is actually a rock in honor of some guy named John Belair. And apparently he maintained the springs and sold it to the state of Michigan for $10, making it a public park forever. I totally didn't just read that off of Google, but it's kind of cool to see that, he was a class act maintaining that stuff. Yeah, dude. Let's go home, guys.
All right. You consent to you recording me?
Well, I didn't consent to be born. If you thought I was kidding about the bugs, dude, look, they were attacking us. They were trying to come home with us, dude. At least buy me dinner. But anyways, we got to the Airbnb in the UP, and it was pretty chill. I mean, it was a lake house. We just stayed there for a night, and then we went back to Mackinac the next day, the island itself. And we'll have a little bit of videos on that in just a moment. But I mean, overall, it was a cool experience. I really enjoyed the life away from society, because when you're in suburban areas and all that stuff, it can get a little busy and a little hectic. So just honestly, I would recommend this 100%. Just going out and about and just looking at some trees, looking at a lake, and just appreciating this God-given nature. Because at the end of the day, like I said, we got one life, guys, and we really got to make the most of it and just, see things for ourselves, dude. I mean, it's almost like we domesticated ourselves to watching other humans live their lives while they just profit, and we just kind of just sit there with our thumbs up our butt cheeks. But when you actually go outside and, touch grass, for lack of a better term, you really get the time to appreciate it. So, definitely, I understand everyone's situation is different, but, just definitely get out there. All right, those sailors. This is at the port to get on the boat to go to Mackinac Island. In a moment, there's going to be a ship noise, so cover your ears. Hell yeah. But yeah, they ended up taking us under the bridge that we drove over. And dude, like I said, it was some really cool engineering. Apparently like 5 people died building this bridge. You know, RIP the homies. We pour one out for sure. But it's just really cool to see how something like that was built. And apparently it was built like under the budget that they anticipated. So they saved some money on that. So it was a very prosperous time back in the day. But anyways, yeah, the boat ride there was actually killing me. Like, who would have known wind blowing in your face near the water would be cold? So anyways, we made it to the island. We just kind of walked around. There's a lot of bikes. Dude, you could rent a bike for 4 hours for like $70-something. It was just kind of crazy up there. So if you go, budget carefully. I get it. It's a vacation spot. Go have your fun. But, you know, I'm a poor man. I had to basically walk everywhere. So I got my steps in for that day. And I'm really glad I did because, again, more trees. Half of this trip, actually all of this trip, was just going out and appreciating water and trees and literally touching grass. And keep in mind, there was a clip of me earlier at a grocery store with apples. I actually bought half a gallon of milk and just drank it, all of it that day on my way to the island. And so my stomach was in flames, dude. And I was just literally fighting for my life that entire trip. And look, some people might say, like, why don't you just eat like a regular person? Well, look, I don't want to eat things that are going to be bad for me, and I don't want to spend too much money. But anyways, that's just like my little 2 cents. This was a kind of a cool little area. They had like a cool rock. I don't remember. I think it was called Skull Rock or something like that, which, I mean, shout out to all the Skull Rocks out there. And then we ended up kind of just going down this path afterwards and we kind of got lost for a moment. There wasn't really too much of a reception action going on there, which was cool. I got to kind of just stay with my thoughts and just think while I was walking. There was also this little patch of snow on our walk there, so that was kind of interesting. This is actually the airport. You know, there were some planes going on there. Right next to there was like a little horse riding area as well. And right next to that as well was a cemetery. So people actually get buried here. And I guess it costs a lot of money to get buried here. This dude right here, he had some influence on the island. I forgot his name, I'm not gonna lie, but RIP the homie. And apparently they're running out of room to bury people here. So they actually like made a law that you have to be living on the island for 10 years minimum to like actually get a plot of land to get buried there. So, I mean, shout out, I guess. But anyways, that really was the trip. And, you know, I said this a couple of times. I thought it was really cool. I really appreciate the experience that I got to have. And yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. Go out there, go do your thing. And, you know, I'm sending y'all much love. Y'all can do whatever you want to do in your lives. Then yeah, shout out.